The Ageless Center offers traditional medical spa procedures including intense pulse light, Botox, fillers, chemical peels, microderm, laser hair removal, things you would find in most traditional medical spas. In addition to that, I think what makes us unique is the availability of wellness medicine and bioidentical hormones, which is an area that really can have such an impact in our health and in our life that I think it should be mandatory that anybody who comes into a doctor's office should be informed of the availability of not only hormone replacement therapy, but also nutraceuticals and supplements and evaluations for deficiencies in vitamins, hormones, and things along that line that most traditional practices do not offer. It's as important as it is to get your cholesterol, as important as it is to get your thyroid. And so I think what sets us apart is that I'm not going to give you something you don't need. I'm going to check first, just like I would a thyroid, just like I would a cholesterol. I'm going to check first and see what the problem is, then decide what we're going to do about it, how we're going to treat it. In some cases that is giving you estrogen. In some cases that's giving you progesterone. But if we give you hormones, we're going to give you bioidentical hormones. Hormones that are identical to your body so that your body will not know the difference between what I'm giving you and what it made back in your younger years. At the same time too, we want to make sure that your vitamin status and your nutritional status is also up to date. What we find a lot of times is that even though that we may correct a hormone imbalance, the problem with the coenzymes or vitamin deficiencies or deficiencies in certain elements is still present, and therefore you don't get the full benefit of those hormones unless that is also corrected. Once we address the issues, then we see the best results, the best health you can have. Our medical spa also offers massages. In fact, we have many corporations that will actually contract out our massage therapists for their employees, which I think is a very nice gesture. They'll have massages set up for several employees at a time, and then from there, if the employees want any additional procedures, they then contact us and arrange those. We've had people come in here for bridal showers, we've had birthday parties, and we offer a group discount for those patients who want to come in before an evening out with their spouse or with their friends and just go out and have a relaxing massage before they go out to dinner. We have that actually on a regular basis. We can arrange for catering if you'd like to have that done, and we make sure there's no alcohol involved, so there was no conflict of interest there. I'm happy to say that we were actually featured on Fox News several years ago because we're one of the only offices in the state to offer a clear light light therapy. What this machine will do is actually targets the acne producing bacteria with a blue light, which kills the bacteria, decreasing the acne. It's completely painless, and it's done as easy as 15 minutes twice a week, and in 8 sessions it will reduce approximately 60 to 80% of the acne causing bacteria, and then follow-up sessions are required to maintain you free. We've had some patients who simply require clear light for their acne removal, and other patients require more intense therapy. Acne is something that can be very traumatic to those who suffer from it. Even adult onset acne can be very traumatic and embarrassing for many people. Everyone is different. No one solution for acne fits everybody, and so that's why we'll tell patients when they come in, we normally will address the causes first if at all possible, and once we try and determine what the causes are, offer a choice of treatments. In some cases, the acne can be very resistant, in which case we have to offer a variety of treatments to try and keep it under control. With the vaginal rejuvenation, the key factors there, I think, are to keep in mind that it's something that most women are embarrassed to talk about. They don't feel comfortable talking to their gynecologist about it in some cases, and we actually have had gynecologists send us their patients because they don't feel comfortable talking about it either. And what we've tried to offer is a relaxed environment where somebody can feel free to tell me whatever it is that really is bothering them. And therefore, once we know what the problem is, what is bothering them, not the structural defect, but what is their concern, what is bothering them, then we can address how to best correct that. And we have patients that have traveled from California, from Victoria, from Atlanta, and from Florida who come over here. And a lot of times they tell us because the fact that we are gynecologists, and so they feel comfortable with the training background, but at the same time too, we're affordable. Depending on the request or depending on the problem to be fixed, a lot of times we can do the procedure right here in the office, which saves the patient a lot of time and embarrassment because no one knows they had anything done. They can come in, no one knows what was done, and they go home the same day. The most common requests we'll have are either going to be a labial reduction or tightening of the vagina. This is something that has not really been offered to women for years, and now finally it's becoming in vogue to go ahead and be able to discuss the fact that you can correct these problems. So you don't have to go through life with this problem, it can be fixed. Our office will also carry a variety of different product lines designed to meet different skin problems. Sometimes the issue is hyperpigmentation, sometimes the issue is fine lines, or just skin that's deficient in certain antioxidants. We try and offer different products for different lines. I chose to carry the products in this particular case because I wanted to make sure that the products my patients were getting were quality products. Unfortunately, what you'll see in the market is such a wide variety of products that patients can get lost in trying to figure out what's real and what's marketing. And so what we have done in our office is we get free samples for a lot of different products, and I make sure that we test them ourselves to find out what works, what doesn't work, and what's good and what's not, what's real, what's fantasy, what's marketing. And so a lot of the products we get, we ditch, and we actually will tell the representatives we don't want these lines because they really don't offer any proven effectiveness. So we make sure that the products we carry are effective and are good at doing what they advertise. You can trust us. I want to make sure that the products that I'm offering you are the same ones I'm using on myself and on my family. One of the things I want to address is internal beauty as well too. You have to keep in mind that our body works as one unit. It is not an eye, a heart, a kidney, but it all works together in one function. If one part of your body is affected, it'll affect the rest of the organism. And so what we're trying to do with our wellness program is making sure that that organism is working at its best capacity. So we want to make sure that, again, your liver is doing the best it can, that your heart is at its strongest. We want to find the weaknesses and the problems before they become catastrophic. We were discussing earlier as far as hormones and how even if your hormones are corrected, you can still have deficiencies which will keep your body from being able to utilize those hormones to their best capacity. So one of the things we'll do is assess your overall health through a means of different testing. Sometimes that'll involve traditional testing of your thyroid, your cholesterol, but even with cholesterol, let's look at that for example. We're also preoccupied with what our number is for our cholesterol, our total cholesterol number. But yet what's important to realize is it's not the total cholesterol. Did you know that 50% of people who have a heart attack have a normal cholesterol level? And yet we're also preoccupied with keeping that number normal. This is not the total number that's the important factor. It's what's called lipoproteins. These are subparticles that will contain cholesterol. And we have found through research that it's the lipoproteins and the size and number of those lipoproteins that actually increases your risk for heart attack. And yet we don't assess that. Why don't we offer that testing to our patient? If we know that that's where the problem is and we know that that test is available, why not? Many patients will come in with a thyroid problem. And yet when I assess their thyroid, I find out that they really don't have an inherent problem with their thyroid. They have a vitamin deficiency. Selenium is actually a very big cause of thyroid problems. Having a lack of selenium or lack of iron in your diet can actually affect your thyroid. And we have patients we have corrected their thyroid dysfunction simply by putting them on a supplement. And so as far as the testing for these deficiencies, we offer it. Why? Because it's important to your health. And even people who take multivitamins are not immune to these problems. According to one national survey, 90% of people who take multivitamins are deficient, even though they take a multivitamin every single day. We want to know what's going on the micro level inside your cells. This is where your life actually is occurring, at the intracellular level. We want to make sure that the cells are functioning at their top capacity, and as they each function at top capacity, they'll work together as a group to make your life and your health the best it can be. If you're having deficiencies, it can lead to problems as far as Alzheimer's disease, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, things that can all affect your longevity and your health. And a lot of these diseases are preventable, but yet we wait until we have the problem to address it. We have the means to address it, we have the means to check for it, but yet we wait until after we've had the problem to then figure out what we're going to do about it. At the Ageless Center, we make this available to you. After much research in the area as far as trying to find out what is the best means of assessing these nutritional deficiencies, our office decided to use SpectraCell's laboratories. We found them to be the most efficient and most reliable source of deficiencies that we've tested. Stop and look at the label on your multivitamin. In many cases, you'll find that it'll say 100% RDA. Well, most people don't understand that. What that means simply is they're giving you just enough to keep you from getting a disease. They're not giving you the amount your body needs to get optimal health. What they're giving you is simply the minimum that your body needs to avoid a disease process. Once we find out what your deficiencies are, we can then go ahead and have these supplements compounded for you to meet your specific needs. So therefore, it's your vitamin. It's not a generic, it's not one designed for the mass population. It's your specific vitamin. We want to do more. We want to accomplish optimal levels. And so therefore, by determining your body's individual need for vitamins, minerals, supplements. Then we can go ahead and sculpt and design a formula for you. We want more than just prevent. We want to enhance your vitality. Stop with me for a minute and let's consider your life. What are your priorities? What's important? What's not? We all spend time, we all spend money and efforts and energy in buying things that we think will bring us happiness. TVs, VCRs, cars, but yet all those things need maintenance and they all break down. And yet we're glad to pay for it and we're glad to get our car serviced for the 5 years we're going to have it. But yet how many of us do actually stop and take the time to take care of ourselves? Think about it. What's your health worth to you? That's really what the Wellness Center is all about. What would it mean to you to have your job taken away from you or your health taken away from you because of a heart attack, because of a stroke, because something that you could have done today which would have prevented a problem tomorrow? I want to offer you the best we have in medicine. I want you to get the most you can out of your life. I'm not just interested in extending your life, I'm interested in extending your vitality and your quality of life. The comment I hear over and over again is, thank you for giving me my life back. I've forgotten how good I felt because I felt so bad for so long that I didn't realize how bad I was. And now that I'm feeling better, now I can see the difference. Thank you. And my prayer, my hope for you is that you too will be able to feel that experience of knowing how good you could feel.